sun, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, up, up. You'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes. You'll see it's true. A beautiful
Well, welcome back to the Booga live stream. It's Thursday night. Still working on the inlay, getting closer and closer to getting done. Hope everybody's having a good week. I do want to thank everybody for dropping in. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this later, I do appreciate it. Don't forget to give the thumbs up, like, shares, all those good things, if whatever you can. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So check us out there. Subscribe to all those. Get notifications, all that good stuff when we're going live. So we're still working on, like I said, the Travis Kelce inlay. Right now, you can kind of see right here, we're about in the, right into the middle of the mouth area. It kind of looks a little weird in this because it's so bunched up right now, but we're going to go ahead and get right on into it. I want to get as much done as I can. I'm a little light today on where I would like to be. Not as bad as where I kind of figured I would be, but it's coming along. This is line 63. So 27 more lines to do to finish up. So I'll be getting it done maybe before the Super Bowl, but it's going to be on Sunday morning probably if I work at it. We're going to see how it goes. Oh boy, the cat just opened the door. I'm cold. Yeah, like I said before, on Monday, I had Saturday. I couldn't get nothing done on Saturday, so right there, that put me behind real quick. Yesterday, I was about a line or two behind where I wanted to be. My back was just kind of giving me issues, and I need to get some more stuff done around the house. So, though today, this morning, well, I'll start with that, I guess. Got up, and before noon today, I got done. I had 4 lines before noon today, which was good. Normally, I'm barely getting to a line or two by that time. Normally, it's between noon and 4 where I really power through. So I was like, man, today's going to be a good day. But, caveat and all that, oh man, I'm going to have to breathe. Okay, I got to close the door for a second. Oh, who opened the door? Ooh, doggy. He opened that thing up real far. It was like really cold. But yeah, last night, it was yesterday afternoon, kind of started raining and everything. I knew that was going to happen, and I knew it was going to rain overnight, and when I checked the weather yesterday morning, it said possibly this morning we might have a little dusting of snow and everything when we got up today. So I was like, okay, kind of planned and figured on maybe a dusting of snow, and it was about 6:40. I had to get up and go to the bathroom, and it was getting close to time to get up, but I just kind of wander into the bathroom and kind of look out the window. I didn't have my glasses on or anything. I was like, well, it's white. Looks like there's a dusting of stuff out there, no biggie. And went on my way, went and laid back down. So it was probably about 7:20-ish or so. Kind of woke up again. I was like, man, maybe it's time just to go ahead and get up. And so I kind of threw on my glasses and I looked outside a little bit better. And I was like, oh, okie dokie. We ended up getting about 4.5, maybe 5 inches of snow. And that was like totally not expected at all whatsoever. And shortly after that, I was asked the daughter if she had to work, because they normally, the YMCA normally goes with the local school district's kind of snow thing. It's like, well, the schools are closed. You guys not working yet? She's like, I'm not working today. And so it's like, huh, okay. So I got into chainmail and actually doing pretty good. But I will say, this is the kind of snow I like. Yeah, it was 4 inches. It stopped about 7:45. The snow stopped. And not too shortly after that, the sun tried to keep coming out the rest of the day. It was kind of poking out here and there. But it warmed up. And so it was pretty much starting to melt away by noon on the main road. We got it from our kitchen window. We can see this mainish road out here. It was already starting to clear up pretty good. We live on a dead-end street, and so it takes a little bit more for ours to finally get melted off, a lot less traffic, blah, blah, blah. So, but even ours was starting to kind of clear up some, so it was like, well, okay, so I got the son, and me and him, we went out and we did the shoveling, cleaned off the cars, and got all that done, and came back in, and I had to, redo everything in my hat and all that, and that's when it got me thinking. It's like, I've been wanting to cut my hair and get my hair trimmed up since actually mid-November. I was needing to get it trimmed up, and then we started getting sick in December. Then the wife has her issues now, and she can no longer do my hair, which is kind of a big old bummer, because I mean, many years I've always kind of had long hair. I let it grow out and cut it, donate it. I hate going to get my hair cut all the time, so normally I just let it kind of grow out, and if it needs to be trimmed or whatever, I'd kind of have the wife do it. And most of the time I just kind of let it grow till it got crazy, and then just shave it all off in a buzz cut style here for the past several years. But she can't do that anymore, so I kind of went, and his daughter was in the living room, and I went in there today. I was like, how would you feel about following your mother's instructions on doing something? And she's like, looking at me all cross-eyed and weird, and like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, he goes, well, I need to be more specific, because if she gives me instructions to go drive off a bridge, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, well, no, it's not going to be something like that, goofball. So then I proceeded. It's like, I need to get my hair trimmed. Your mom can't do it anymore. How would you feel about trying to do it for me? Because I'm like, I got 2 options left after that. It's either I'm going to try to do it, and the way, basically, we're just kind of trimming down the sides, kind of having a ponytail. I haven't really cut my hair since COVID started. I kind of got to a point where beard and hair just started growing. So, but anyway, I was like, it's either I'd try it myself, or I find some place to go, and I haven't been to a haircutting place in years. And so she was willing to try, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm like, she goes, "If you screw it up, you're not gonna be mad, are you?" I'm like, "It's hair. The damn the stuff just grows and grows." Trust me, I've had some bad haircuts. There was a time, I'm trying to think of what year. I had a friend about around 92, 93. I was early 20s. My mom wanted to get all the kids together and get pictures done and all this. At the time, I was working an overnight job making paper plates, 12-hour shifts. And so she wanted to get that done, and I needed a haircut really bad and everything. So I got done working one day, and I was like, all right, let's go to the hair cutting place, and went and kind of gave them basic idea of what I wanted, and proceeded to, I was kind of half asleep, because, I got off a 12-hour shift. I was already up many hours before that. It was already several hours past that. So I'm kind of half falling asleep in the chair. I also wear glasses, so I can't see anything without my glasses. So they proceed to start cutting my hair. I'm kind of half falling asleep while they're doing this. They get all done, and they kind of had to nudge me a bit, because, I wasn't sleeping, but I was kind of, and wake up, and I put on my glasses, and they're like, haircut's done. I'm like, okay, fine, okay. I kind of look at it best I can, being half tired, looking at it. No big deal. Go on my way, go home, go to bed. I don't think it was that day, but I think it was the next day was when we were supposed to get the pictures done. And so, not thinking about it, the next day, get up, start washing, cleaning up, and realized I look in the mirror and my hair is standing on in it. I have a literal light bulb head. It was this bulb shaped head of spiky hair. I wanted a bit of a spike, but not like this full blown spike everywhere. It was, and nothing, I mean, it was the craziest freaking haircut I'd ever gotten. How many was that? Okay, 3. And, but yeah, so my mom's got this big old picture of me. She got it on the wall. It drives me nuts because I absolutely hate this picture. Of me with my light bulb head. And, yeah. But so it goes off on a tangent from my daughter cutting my hair. I think she did a great job. I'm plenty happy with it. I don't adjust my hats other than a couple times here and there. And last time I adjusted my hat was shortly after. Well, I got this hat shortly after I kind of had a haircut. And so my hat has been fitting a lot more snugly lately because I needed the sides trimmed. And the ruffle in the back from putting up the long hair was getting, I think it was probably a good 4 inches. So it was long and driving me nuts. So she trimmed all that down. So I'm kind of, in a way, glad we had the snow day. But before we could do that, we have a couple clippers. I've got one that we've had for many, many years. My son's got a newer set, but his are still years old. They all have problems. Every time the wife is going to cut my hair, she's always yelling at the clippers and all that, not doing what they're supposed to do or whatever. I don't know. I got my glasses off and she's back there yelling at my head. That's all I know. And so it's like, I don't want to, if the first time my daughter's going to try to do this, I don't want her to end up having issues. So she went with me. We ended up running out real quick and buying a new set of clippers. And so from noon with the shoveling and everything, and then going out and getting stuff, I got nothing done till about 5 o'clock again. By the time I finally was able to get here, I did get some kitchen work done that'll help later tonight. So I'm hoping that'll actually give me a time tonight where I can get another row done. But we'll see what happens on that. Oh, you know what? I don't have any music going. Let's get the music going. Alright, there we go. But, yeah, so that put me a little more behind that. I was hoping to actually be past the mouth area, because right now I think this is going to be the line where we're going to be with a little bit of black, and that's the middle of his mouth. When we get to the end of the stream tonight, I'll try to move this stuff out of the way so we can try to show it off if I remember and have enough time. Like I said, I do need to wrap up my time 8:30 anymore. Pretty punctually for a while. But we'll try to give it a stretch out. Now, like I said, is one eye I'm still playing with. I played with it once and a half times. The other eye I've messed with, and I didn't spend much time, and I was pretty happy with it to begin with. So I haven't spent much time on it, but I did adjust a little bit on it already. I keep wanting to play with it because I want it to look better while it's laying down, but I know as soon as I hang it up, things are going to change. So I'm trying to stretch it the best I can and play with the eye. But you get that reference. We're gonna, hopefully, like I said, I honestly didn't think on Monday I would be where I'm at, even though I should be further. And I'm thinking, if I'm at 27 now, if I can get it down to 25, 24 lines tonight, I would have Friday and Saturday, both full days. That would give me 12 lines a day. Now that's not pushing my limits. I've done more, but that would mean I'd have to really dig in and get into it. And I want to. I keep, right now I'm kind of pushing myself at times. Now, I will admit there are times where I probably could have gotten, through the past 2 weeks, I know there's times where I probably could have got about maybe 5 more lines Just in some of the time, I'm like, do I really want to go sit down over there for this next 40-minute round? Because they end up being either 27 minutes, 35 minutes, or 42-minute rounds whenever I come to sit down anymore. I kind of seem to stop about the same point across, because it takes about 27 minutes to do a full line straight back and forth. There are sometimes I want to do more, so I go a little bit longer, and I end up getting about halfway through or so, and that's the longer times. But we're gonna push and see what happens. I'm hoping at the very least I might not get any pictures posted before the game, but I hope to have it done and hung before the game. That's why if I can't get 12 lines, if I only get 10 done on Friday, Saturday, that'll leave me with 4 lines on Sunday. So that's a couple hours work. I can get in there, do that, get it hung before the game since the game's late. I just don't know if I'd have much time to get pictures. So and then the adjustment of the eye. The biggest thing will probably be some of that. Is the eye too goofy for me to want to post or not? That's kind of what it's going to come down to, because I know I'm going to have to make adjustments to it. Like I said, I've made a little bit of adjustments to it. I've kind of taken a few little moments here and there, and I've made some. But I'm still nowhere near happy with it, and I'm afraid to do too much till it's hanging, which I almost thought about going ahead and try to put it on the hanger so I could try to get an idea while I'm still working on it and just put it back down on the table when I need to. And I still might do that, but I'm running out of days, so yeah. So this is the middle of the mouse, so we're going to use a lot of black right here. Okay. What are you doing? I missed the bucket, I guess, once or twice. I have found some rings in the wrong bucket, but overall, though, I'm still pretty happy with the progress we've made on this compared to sometimes. Some of the last, Chris Jones, we spent about 3 months doing it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, what do I need here? 14, 16. So, yeah. But we were only really getting most of our work was just being done on the Thursday nights with it. And this I'm getting some in every day, like I said, other than Saturday, which I knew was going to be, once I got the laser orders, I knew it was going to be a little light to get into it, but, it turned out to be a full laser day and no chainmail that day. A quick look around here, and where we at? We're 20 minutes in, 18 minutes in, so I'll make sure we're not missing anybody. And like I said at the beginning here, we're going to stretch this out at the end. So if you're watching this later and you're kind of fumbling through here and you happen to catch this part right here, you can fast forward to the end and I'll get a stretch out of it. I just got to remind myself, keep kind of check on time, because I'll need to wrap up probably about 5 minutes early so I can move my buckets up here, little tubs, and try to give it the best stretch I can. And then again, we still get some weird shadowing because of the white paper on the background here. Kind of gives it some different shadowing. It always looks better once once it's hung, then it's there. But I cannot believe it's already coming up. Super Bowl. It's like I want to go to Super Bowl and I want to win the Super Bowl, but I almost rather we not play the Super Bowl, because right now we're just going to the Super Bowl. Neither team has lost. I'm not necessarily a fan of the Eagles, but I'm also not a hater of the Eagles. I kind of liked them back when actually our coach now, Reed, was out there. There's a few teams that, I'm okay with and I don't have a problem with. There's a lot of them that I don't like just because they're either in our division or, we always play them and they kick our butts. So I'm not sure how to feel about it in a way. About like last year's, though. Last year's, I think last year's just kind of sucked because I was kind of bummed that we didn't make it to the Super Bowl. But we're back there. I hope we can keep going. It's kind of nice in a way. And like I said the other day, I think I'm going to get a little spoiled in a way. But I've always been a Chiefs fan. I'm not a band-weather fan. I mean, ever since I started watching them, like I said, it was either around 82, 83 is where I really kind of started getting into football. And I have been since. When I was younger, back then in the mid 80s, when they were really not doing good, my stepdad, we got tickets to a lot of pre-games and some regular games. We went to several of those. It was an empty place. It was so weird. Then I didn't go for years and years and years, and I want to. That was it. I don't remember if it was before we bought the house. So I mean, it has been some years. No, I think it had to have been here because the boy, he's never really been in a big football fan himself, but he liked it when Tomlinson was running back for Chargers. For some reason, he liked the Chargers. We had to buy him Chargers stuff then, and drove me a little batty. But one year, God, I wish I got the ticket stub still. I'd have to pull it out and see exactly when it was. But, I mean, it was good. It was well before Reed, and he's been here, 10-ish years now? So, it was probably around 16-ish years or so ago. And if I could remember who the coach was, then I'd be able to say what year it is, but can't remember. But, yeah, me and the boy went. It was a Chargers game, so he wore his Chargers uniform or jersey, and I wore my Chiefs stuff. And it was kind of surreal to go back there. Now, I guess there was two other times we were on the field as a band in high school. But I mean, it's a little different when you're there doing something because you're doing other stuff, preparing. You're not just there to watch the game. We did many baseball games too, but once we went back and when I was an adult, the crowd, I mean, I've never seen that place, been there. I mean, you see it on TV packed, but never once you get there and it was packed. I mean, we weren't having the greatest of years, but had fun still. But it was crazy kind of going back after so many years. I mean, at the latest, it would have been late high school, which would have been late 80s anyway. So it had been at least 20 some odd years before, I'd love to go now, though. They weren't so freaking expensive. Seeing some of the ticket prices for the game and stuff, it's like, what, huh? Yeah. To get, I mean, not the super expensive, but not the super cheapies either. But I was looking at it and I was kind of figuring out airfare to get there, go to the game, tickets for the game, all that. I was like, that's almost a year's worth of mortgage to go to the Super Bowl. Now, like I said, no, I would love to do it, but I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's a little too steepy. I mean, even home games now have become a little crazy. I mean, cheap seats are costing $60, and you got $20 to park. If you want to fast and not eat anything, you okay, but you want something to drink, maybe a little something to munch on, you're looking at another $20. $100, and that's just for one person. I mean, I guess, the parking wouldn't be as bad if you got multiple people in the car. That would kind of spread out the parking price a bit, but because I would still love. What we were talking about earlier this afternoon. I think it was before we got the hair going. We were talking about kind of the Chiefs and the stuff I got. Oh, because tomorrow, I was telling Dollar tomorrow I was thinking about running out to the store and putting on my Mahomes jersey and wearing it out and going to a store or two around town. because it's Red Friday around town. It's on Friday before Chiefs games, Red Friday. Well, it'd be a good day to go roam around with it on, you know. And then we were kind of, I was like, yeah, you know, I could donate all my Chiefs stuff to the Chiefs Kingdom if can I become the official chain mailer of the Kansas City Chiefs? I was joking with a daughter about that. I was like, you know, they got the official beer, the official grocery store, the official toilet paper, everything else is like, oh, you know, can I be the chain mailer of the Chiefs? Because we've got many things now. I'm going to have to kind of, after this one, the next one I think is going to be the big kind of centerpiece, per se, of it that I want to do. It could be interrupted a bit, but yeah, this weekend's gonna could change a lot on what I'll be doing over the next couple months. I will say that. I don't want to say too much into that, because I guess after tonight I won't be back on unless for some crazy reason I'm able to put something together and get some of this more done and show it off before. But if not, next time you'll see me will be on Monday, which will be after the football game, so hopefully it will be a good Monday. We'll see how it goes. If it goes good, I might try to even pull out some other stuff to show off. If it doesn't go good, who knows what kind of mood I'll be in next Monday. We'll see what happens on that. We're hoping for a good Monday. That's what I'm hoping for. But where we at here? We're at 26 minutes. Okay, so we still got a little while. Just kind of, like I said, I want to remember to be able to get it stretched out. There have been times before where we kind of ran out of time, wasn't able to. Like I said, we'll have to ignore the eyeball. I think everything else is going pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with the hairline. The nose area, I haven't fully been able to engulf yet because we're just gotten past it. And really, before I can notice and see much, I got to make sure I get a good 5-6 lines past that area before you can really start looking at it in a different way. Because when you're right up on it, I don't know how many times I've been coming across doing rows before on the, well, not on this one, but on other projects, other inlays, where I'm like, man, this just, I'm putting in the wrong color, and then I double check my stuff, and everything's right. I'm just second guessing myself, and because it just doesn't look right at the row you're at until you get a little bit past it, and the blending comes into effect. Because I am kind of using more of a blended effect on it with the background, trying to make a blurred background kind of style. It's not necessarily hard, but you know, I thought about when I first started doing these was just making the background one solid color, but then I was like, when I was doing my pre-work on it, like the picture I show and everything here, it just looked too cartoony to me. And I was like, man, I don't know. How can I do this background where it's going to look decent enough? And then a lot of it does come down to the picture also that you're using to go from. You got to have a decent picture there, because there were 3 other pictures that I actually liked of Kelce better that I wanted to go, but the backgrounds or the how big the picture was, etc. Sometimes it wasn't going to work right. So, I mean, sometimes there might be a time or two here that I might try an inlay that I have one that I'm done with. Well, not built, but design-wise, I'm done with. I just, looking at it and my printout, I don't think it's going to look right when it finally gets done. Because sometimes your design, when you actually get done with it, can vary a little bit. And all of them have, but most time they've still been okay. But I've got one that I just don't think is going to work, but I kept it because one day I'm going to do it, and it might surprise me. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't done a ton of inlays. I love doing them. I've done a lot of smaller, single, double colored type things, the music notes and stuff like that. I've done those type things a lot, but big picture type inlays. This will be the actual third portrait style inlay I've done. So I want to say kind of lucky in a way that things have worked out pretty decently for the most part. I've had a little bit of changing. Now, I'm never happy with them all. There are little things I would still like to change a bit on my other inlays, but sometimes I overdo it, and then I have to correct and go back. And so I've gotten to a point that I'm okay with them. I'm a little more. I'm happy with them. Don't get me wrong. But everything I do, no matter what it is, I always feel like there's some person. I feel like there's a way of doing it better. Now, I don't know if I can or if it can be. I just always feel like, man, I just feel like I could do something a little different that would make it just a little bit better. Sometimes that it does, sometimes it doesn't, so. And that goes with anything. When I'm working with graphics especially, that's the thing with graphics for me. I can play around for hours and everything looks like crap, and then all of a sudden things start coming together, idea pops in the head. But, even by then, most of the graphics I work with, which I have another graphic I need to get working on. But anyway, it can kind of... I normally have 4 or 5 versions of something I'm working on because, I'll start generic. Once I kind of get a basic generic, before I get finished with it, though, another idea comes into my head, so I'll start working on another one. So normally what I call my version 1s, 2s, and 3s are partially done ones, and then I'm pulling parts from those into a 4th, 5th, 6th one. Because, I'm liking parts of this, or I'll change that. So, yeah. But I did just find out, well, actually, it was the order on Saturday I had was actually for a teammate racer, I guess, from our team, our racing team. And I didn't know it at the time. He was ordering it because we got a new logo, I guess, for the team that they just started using. So I had contacted the founder of the team and all that, and got the new logo. So I got some graphics work to do to get this. It's a colored logo, so I have to try to my best ability to change it into basically a 2-colored photo, or a black and white photo, something that can be engraved. Now, the first time I did it, it did take me a while, but I was working from the only graphics that I could get from anybody was JPGs, and this time, though, the original graphics I've got several in SVG form, which will be awesome. So it'll be a lot easier to do a lot of the work I would normally have to do. So I'm expecting it to go somewhat smoothly, but that's something I'm going to have to get into this weekend after I get done with this. So then I can start designing, because I've already got another guy that has the new logo, wants the new logo on a couple things. So, well, and then I still need to get posted some of the new pictures of some of the new laser items that I don't have listed on or test pictures on. I've got wallets, I've got picture frames. Trying to think of a few of the other things that I've got now. I got 2 different size glass mugs now. I got all kinds of new stuff that I need to get pictured, done, shown, all that good stuff. So much to do, so little time. On to line 64. So we're moving a little bit along here. Where are we at? We are past our halfway point. So since we are at our halfway point, I do want to go through my little halfway spiel and thank everybody again for joining us. Like I said, if you're watching this now, if you're watching this later, I do appreciate it. Don't forget to give the thumbs, likes, shares, all that good stuff that you can give out. No matter where you're at, if you're on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, they all have different options for sharing and liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. So get in there, get all those subscribed so you can see when we're out. Next week we will be going back to, hopefully on Monday, we'll be back to our normal 3-camera setup in a way, even though one's going to become the Buzzy Cam, or the extra roaming camera if I've got something else I want to show off or whatnot. But we're doing the time lapse of this, that's why we've been on the single camera. And once done, we'll go back to the other one until I start. We'll be doing another inlay somewhat quickly-ish. Don't know exactly when. So on Thursday nights, I'm still going to have Thursday nights be our inlay night. So on Thursdays, we will be going single camera on Thursdays. But on Monday, for now, while we're on the Monday-Thursday schedule, we will have Monday nights, we'll have the big cameras, I guess, going. Just because after not doing the time lapse for the Chris Jones inlay, I was so ticked off at myself going, especially after I wanted to make sure I did a time lapse for this one. I feel bad that I didn't get the time lapse done for the Chris Jones one. It kind of mad at myself. So I think any more big inlays like this will always from now on probably be time lapse, so that we'll only have one camera on them while we're doing them. But you know, all right, that's good enough for now. I'll start the next row. So check around real quick. I'm not missing any. Looks like I have had a few pop in and out of Facebook. I do thank y'all for dropping in. You don't have to post anything, but it's always good to hear from you if you do. Same with YouTube and Twitch. If you ever show up on there, make sure you just give a quick hey. You know, you don't have to chat with me, but just a hey. Let me know you're here. It's always good to know when somebody's here, even if you're just hanging out, watching, trolling. I don't know. Trolling is a good word. I don't know. The newfangled words I don't know anymore. I'm getting too old. I've already had to learn too many different years. You know, I grew up in the 80s with the what was the Valley Girl, and then you had the 90s with the changing of words, and well, I guess a lot of that happened in the, well, I call them the naughties, the zeros. I don't know what to call the zeros. 2000 to 2009 era. Had to relearn. Then my kids, you know, had to relearn their language when they were going through school. At least some of it. And I keep getting older, and it's like, man, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Think about some of these weird things sometimes, you know. What would it have been like, you know, to have what we have now back when I was a kid? I don't know. Well, it would have been kind of insane. I mean, I enjoyed when I was in school. I had a fun time. You know, I was in band. Freshman year, I was in band and football. Football coach was kind of a turd when it come to band kids, so that's why I didn't continue there. Not sophomore year. Was it junior year? Yeah, I think it was junior year. 'Cause I don't think it was senior. It could have been my senior year. I don't even quite remember. No, it was junior year, because it would have been my senior year. Senior year, I played soccer. Co-ed soccer, boys, girls soccer, and band. But we didn't have I mean, there were some clubs per se, but nothing major like all the cool crap they have now. But in a way, I'm glad, because I don't know if I would be able to. I'd lose my mind trying to be able to pick something, wanting to do everything that's there, because I'd want to do band. Yeah, now they have, you know, they had photography class, but they didn't have like a photography club. I wanted to take photography class during high school, but I took wood shop, and that was, you know, that was kind of another passion, was wood. So I couldn't really take photography because wood was my other option. In the band, so Could never do that. Now it's its own little separate thing. Now, I mean, they got robotics clubs and, I mean, a ton of freaking clubs now. I mean, I can't even name them all. It's crazy how many there are. Which is cool to have them all, but it does, I mean, daughter was wanting to do so much stuff, and band always takes a ton anyway from you. What are they up there yelling about? They're making noise. Hopefully everything's... I haven't heard any yelling from me, so everything should be okay. Well, and that was the I would have loved to take in robotics club, so because I would have, that would have been fun, I think. And I mean, there was a few others that I've heard about while I was helping out the band, going, parents going, yeah, my kid's doing this and that, and I'm like, man, none of that was around back in our day, But like I said, it probably was going to be a good thing. I mean, mostly through high school, it was school band work. School band work. I worked down at the Holiday Inn as a busboy, dishwasher. By the time I was a senior in school, I was a cook at night at the Holiday Inn. And it was a good job. I mean, for being in high school, they were pretty flexible because of the band. But pretty much if I wasn't in band, I was working. Because I was still putting in almost 40 hours a week most times in my junior and senior year in high school. Woke up every morning, normally about 5:30 to 6 o'clock, because we had to be at school by 7 for 7 a.m.s for band. School started at 8. Get out of school at 3:15, head home, normally had to be worked by 4, sometimes 5. But I guess it was more 5 when I was a busboy and a dishwasher, and then when I became a cook later on, that's when I had to get there as soon as I could. So normally it was basically go home, drop off my stuff, grab something to munch on, head to work, cook till, restaurant closed at 10. It normally took us till about 11:30 to close up for the night, get home by about midnight, go to bed, 12:30, 1 o'clock, get back up at 5:30, 6 o'clock the next morning. Every day there for several years. Alright, on to some more. So you can kind of start seeing the mouth right there. You're not being able to tell what that is right now, probably. You can finally make out the nose since we're past the nose area. So nose isn't coming in too bad either. When I'm looking at it from my vantage point right here, I see no nose. I have to actually look at the screen and my camera to actually see it, and it's probably a little unnoticeable more even when I'm looking at my Facebook page right now. With this white background, kind of sucks, but my camera shows a really good picture of it because of the settings I have the cameras on. So, but once we be able to pull it and stretch it out too, it'll start forming together a lot better. So let's see here real quick, and it looks like I might have a few people over on Twitch too. So this is what we're going with. This is their Kelce Inlay that we're working on. We're midway right in the mouth area right now, so figure I'd do a quick shout with that since we got some people popping in here and there. Want to make sure I show something valuable instead of me just bending rings over and over and over again. We're up to, I think, just over about 31 hours, I think, right now into the project. Since last Monday, not this, a couple days ago Monday, but because I've got 2 time-lapse done already. So that was 20 hours worth. I've got another one that I'll probably have to work on tonight to get it pre-done. And then let's see here. I guess I might have to do it 5 in total. I'm trying to think of how many hours, because I'm going to have probably about 45 hours in by the time we're done. Maybe just under. I'm not exactly sure. I'm judging it off of the past ones. But every inlay has been a different ring count, different width. Every row's taking a different amount of time. You know, because it was like a 20-minute turnaround per row when we were doing the Chiefs end zone inlay. This one is 108 wide. I think this is actually might be the widest out of them all, because I believe Mahomes was 100. Chris Jones, I want to say, was like maybe 101 or maybe just, it might have been 98 or something. This is definitely the widest one, though, so far. But they're all within, I need them to be within reason. I'm going by the height of them. That is more what I need. If I need to adjust anything, once they come together as the main piece, and once this all comes together, each one of these will have some type of minor border. Did I do? I did. Okay, I'm gonna have to remind myself. I just laid all these out backwards. Because it's keep running. Yeah, I put all these out here backwards, so I'm gonna have to make sure I do them backwards. Alright. I must concentrate with all my might to remember. I like to lay them out in the way I'm weaving them, not this way, because... Okay. Yeah. I can't believe I did that. I guess I'm glad I caught it before I started weaving it. I looked down and I seen the two blacks starting here, and I'm like, I should not have any blacks right here. I should not have any blacks till I get to the mouth. And I'm like, why did... Okay, I see what I did. I laid them out backwards. I get talking and jabber, jibber. Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube. Yeah, you definitely... Yeah, that eye is just too bright up here at the top. I'm going to have to darken that up a little bit. Right now it is pulled out this way. It'll shrink up a lot more and it changes a lot. But it's a little bit darker than it was. It was more bright out this way too. I went in and changed some of that. And I'm a little bit happier with it. It's slowly growing. It's slowly getting there. That is normally the process with the eyes though. Though Mahomes' eyes were the easiest, I think, by far, and I think Kelce's going to be the toughest eyes by far. Now, Mahomes' hair was the toughest by far. Now, granted, Kelce here doesn't have much hair, and Chris Jones didn't have much hair, so Mahomes had a lot of tweaky hair coming out. And you go find those pictures that I posted of the Mahomes inlay. That part I'm extremely happy with. There are still some other parts of that inlay I want to maybe try to play with, but the hair I was extremely happy with on that inlay. I think on Chris Jones I was extremely happy with the mouth nose area. I believe it came out looking better than I was expecting it to. I mean, we're gonna see where this one goes. Right now I don't have any part that I like excessively. The hairline came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Could it be a little bit better? Yeah. But he didn't have a whole lot of hair to mess with in that year. Doesn't really still as for this year either, but where are we at here? 47 minutes, so we'll get in this. Maybe we'll count it another quick line, and then we'll try to give it a stretch. Like I said, we need about... I want to give us about 5 minutes or so before we end up closing down for the night to move all these tubs out of the way and get the best stretch we can. I don't have it. Looking around out here, see if I had a poster board or something I could lay down so I had a solid background, but I don't have one sitting out here. I did move it to the other room. I was trying to straighten up the other day. I'm hoping tomorrow I can have a good day and just get into getting some done. If I can start tomorrow like I started today and end tomorrow like I ended not Tuesday night, Sunday night. Sunday night I plowed through. I had a hard start Sunday because I was so bummed after Saturday not getting anything done, going, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this. It did take me a bit Sunday to get finally going again, but Sunday night I really plowed through some Sunday night. So if I can have a tomorrow, if I can have a today morning and a Sunday night tomorrow, I could surprise myself. And who knows, maybe tonight. We'll see. Though I do need to get something to eat. I forgot. Wasn't hungry earlier. I had to run out and got the wife something, but at the time I did not want anything. I was not hungry. I should have just got something anyway. I wasn't thinking about it. So, I'm gonna have to munch on something, get the cats going, but hopefully get me at least another line or two done tonight. Minimum. But Monday, well, if we get this done by Monday, we'll be going. Monday will be smaller projects. We might have something that might take a week or two, maybe 2-3 weeks at the most. I'm going to try to make them more of the smaller projects, something that we can kind of show off more stuff at any given time. Thursdays, like I said, the first Thursday coming up here, I don't know yet. I have my bags of inlay supplies, but not all of them are fully topped off, because whenever you go to buy supplies, sometimes they're out of certain colors, so I'll get what I can, and so I have a sticker on the front that shows me, okay, I still need this, this, this. So I need to go through. I actually need to make another ring order what they were out of at one point in time if they have them in, because sometimes what sucks about this stuff is sometimes it can take 6 months to get a color in, because they're out of it. By the time they coil up, they have to go through the process. It's a months of process to go through to get these sometimes. So I get them when I can, and that's why I have so many inlays and other things that I've already planned out in advance, because I want to slowly buy the stuff that I need to be able to do that, because I never know at any given time if they're going to have everything I need. When I did the Chiefs flag inlay for Vicky, I was very concerned because that was an order. Now, I got lucky. They had everything in stock at that point in time, but I only had 3 colors, which was better. Makes it easier, unlike this one that has 11. So, you're out of one color. You only need 2 bags of that, but that puts your whole inlay on standstill until you can get everything else you need. So I use gallon Ziploc baggies, and I'll make up bags. I'll order for this is what this inlay is for. They're out of these colors. I can get these now, so I'll get them, put them in the bag, mark them off, and so I've got 3, 4 down there. I think 2 are fully ready to go. 5, right? Yeah. And then the other 2 need more. Well, and the other bag is all actually of chainmail Joe rings, because I have a special summer-ish project I want to do, but I still have a lot of work pre-work I need to get done on that. That's another one I don't want to talk about yet till I kind of get it further down in details, to make sure it's something I can actually do anyway, because I don't want to come up with some great idea that would be like awesome and somebody's waiting for it and then it doesn't end up panning out because I didn't fully think about it. So it's kind of, well, this weekend, we'll see what happens on Monday. We'll see what we announce on Monday. Hopefully we have a great Monday. We're hoping for a great Monday. I know some of you might be Eagles fans, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I have no ill will on the Eagles. There are some teams like I have ill will against that I do not want to see, but I know there's a lot of people that do just hate the Chiefs because they've been doing so well in a way, and I get that because I had that same feeling about Brady up in New England. It was like, come on, dude, stop already. So I kind of get it, but I hope Mahomes can get some records like he had, which is going to mean many more years of it, and that's just going to make more haters, I think, too. But I don't know. I always had even before that, though, New England was always that always drove me nuts because it was like it wasn't a city; it's an area, and I don't know. It drove me nuts when I was growing up. You know, as a kid, getting into football and stuff. I was like, why is everybody else a city, and they're an area? I don't understand. You know, and I still don't necessarily quite. They're New England, but they don't play in New England. Yeah, I don't know that whole thing. Brady's good, but you know there have always been some things with Brady through the years. So it's like you got it, the numbers and all that good stuff. But oh man, all right, I got to get these done. I probably should have stopped because I got to get these rings out of the way to be able to put a good stretch out on it because I'm probably going to use up most of my table because we're probably up to about 15-ish inches, maybe not quite 15. It's got to be getting, I guess, maybe more on the 12 to 13. Now that I think about it, because after we're done, it's going to be approximately 18 to 19 inches tall. Actually, maybe a little taller. Now that I think about it, because I think it's going to end up being 18. I think it's 18 to 19 wide. But it's going to be just slightly shorter than the Mahomes and the Chris Jones. I'm trying to remember. I'd say maybe an inch or two-ish. That was just because of the way this graphic worked out and how I want it. But that's why I can adjust the heights. That's why I was saying kind of earlier that I needed to lock in the heights, but I'm locking them in a way that's maneuverable so that I can add more to the top or bottom to adjust them into the overall piece when done. Like I said, I've got a minimum of 8 inlays. There might be a few other little ones. I want to get the main top part going next-ish. One thing is, that's one thing I still need rings for, though. One, because I didn't know exactly how big and how many rings it was going to take. It's going to end up being bigger than I expected, and using a ton more rings than I was kind of, well, in a way expecting. I knew it was going to take a lot, but the other thing I got to do with that graphic is I got to break it down, because I'm going to actually do that inlay in parts. I'm going to probably break it down into 4 smaller parts. We'll work each section, then we'll come back through and stitch each of those 4 together. Just because at this point in time, it's roughly going to be 400 rings wide. This is 100 rings wide, so it's going to be 4 times the width of this. So you can imagine it's going to take up a lot of room. So I figure I'm going to break it down and do smaller chunks and then weave those chunks together. I just gotta, when I break apart the graphic, I gotta make sure I do it just right where I have that one area that's going to be my connecting ring so it doesn't screw with anything. Because I've done that before on my Chiefs jersey, the Mahomes jersey. I tried to split it and do chunkages, and it ended up working at the very end. It all came together. I had to do a little extra work to it, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time. So it's about like anything I've done chainmail, or I guess anything in life for that matter, that, you know, once you do something, you kind of learn a little something from doing it, and you try to improve on it the next time, you know. So I definitely learned from that one, and it's made me know when I go back in and do my graphics how to split them so that I can get that one row that I'll be using as my connectors pulled out of the graphic, so I don't end up having like this weird. When I did it the first time, it almost looked like a digital line through a TV kind of, but vertical, where it was like just double wide. I mean, it was, yeah, you could tell there was just this weird looking line running down it because the connector line I didn't pull out of the graphic at first, so I put it into each build, and when I went to connect up, I basically just had an extra ring in there. So it looked a little goofy. Alright, one last ring. Where are we at? So we ran 58. We're doing pretty good. So we'll give this a full stretch the best we can. Come on, Ring. There you go. Alright, let's move these out of the way. Stacky stack. I don't know how tall I want these to go. I don't want to make a mess. I have knocked a pile of these that I stacked up over before and got lucky they didn't break apart, but the top box dumped all out. Alright. There's a 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 colors in this. Actually, there's 12, but the one color, it only called for 8 rings of that color, so I didn't bother putting them out here. Alright, let's try to get this thing stretchy too. Like I said, you'll have to ignore the one eyeball if we can get a good set. I might turn off this light, see if that might help with it maybe a little bit. But, yeah, like I said, there's a good 12, there's probably 13 inches, 14 inches there. So, best I can do with anti-gravity. Trying to, why is it, I'm still got to wait for the delay there. So we're right in the middle of the mouth area, like I said. I'm good with the hairline. This eye's pretty decent. I don't know. I almost want to darken it, but I also don't want to. Right now, since it's sitting on the white background, it could change that. This eye, like I said, I'm definitely going to darken a little bit here. Try to taper this eye down more so it looks more like this one over here. It's gotten a little bit better. I'm a little bit more happy with it than I was before. I think I'm still going to change a little bit in the eyebrow itself too, but overall I'm pretty happy with it right now. The ears have come out really well, I think. So I do want to thank everybody again. If you joined us now or if you're watching later, I do appreciate it. Don't forget to give likes, thumbs, shares, all those good things, you know. All those good things that make us available out there to other people. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like I said, for the new year here, we're doing Mondays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. On Mondays, Thursdays, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Don't forget to check us out on all those. Today is Thursday. I'm going to plow ahead on this thing. I'm hoping I can get some more done and hopefully get a picture of it and I can show it off Sunday before the game. If some miracle happens and I can get it done by Saturday night, even better. Otherwise, we will be back next Monday. Hopefully back to normal camera views and all that good stuff. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Football fans, I hope you're out there having fun watching Chiefs game or the Eagles game. Okay, either way. Got the Kelce brothers. So, I mean, Chiefs overall want to win. But, you know, it's good to see all those things going down with this football games. But anyway, y'all have a great weekend. We'll all check you out on Monday then. Peace.